Hey, so you're probably wondering, how do I price my digital products and services? They're very different from physical products, so how do I come up with a price that doesn't seem super unreasonable, that's fair for everyone? And so in today's video, I break down my framework of how I sell and position digital products. Make sure to watch this video. Hey, welcome back to my new series. This is basically where I talk everything digital marketing related, high ticket sales related, all that sort of stuff. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kevin Yee. I'm actually a digital marketing consultant and a high ticket sales consultant. And I basically help entrepreneurs, closers, and businesses convert and scale their high ticket products, service offerings, and all that while maintaining brand integrity. Let's be real, no one likes those sleazy, dirty sales type of people as well, right? Or those sales tactics. So how do you do it in a way that maintains a brand and actually builds lifelong fans? I'm a big promoter of relationship-based funnels, relationship-based branding, relationship-based sales as well. All right. So speaking about that, you're probably someone like maybe you're an agency, you offer some sort of services, maybe you're a digital marketing agency, maybe you're a business owner that has kind of launched a new product, or maybe you're boots on the ground. Maybe you are a high ticket sales person as well, and you are selling high ticket products or other people's products as well, or services. And you're probably wondering like, hey, Kevin, how do I position? How do I sell these type of products as well? And a lot of these processes that I'm going to talk about today, I've used to scale my clients to eight figures plus as well. All right. But before we start off, let's talk about digital products. Digital products and services get a lot of crap, right? For example, if I'm craving a taco or something like that, I can just go into a taco truck. If you want some Doritos tacos or whatever craziness at Taco Bell, you can go there. But essentially, when you go into a place, you're buying something and you get a physical item back. And that is in itself is like, okay, is this worth it or not? Now, there's obviously, we're talking about tacos, but people will go out of their way to buy, like in women's fashion, people will go out of their way to buy something like a Birkin, or for everyday automobiles, people will pay tens of thousands for something like a car. But when we're talking about intellectual property, when we're just like, hey, you know what, you want a done for you type of service, it's going to cost you $30K. It's like, well, is that really fair or not? And so in today's video, I'm just going to be talking about the frameworks that kind of the things that you should consider when you're either purchasing or selling these high ticket products. It was really interesting. By the way, this video was actually inspired by my really good friend. He actually specializes in virtual summits, and we were just catching up the other day, and he was like, man, I'm going to be having this talk. I don't know what to sell. Should I sell low ticket? Should I sell high ticket? Should I sell mid tier? What should I do? So it goes to show you that this field is still emerging. There's no right or wrong, but this is just my philosophy based off my experience that I've done through high ticket sales and through creating my own products as well. So I'll be walking you through that as well. Now, quick pause. If you guys want more digital marketing type of content or sales content as well, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell, stay tuned for everything. I also drop a lot of life advice too, and I stream every Sunday as well, so make sure to tune in and hit the bell for that. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 specific things. One, I'm going to be talking about price strategy, how to price your products and services as well. Second thing, we're going to be talking about how should you tier out your products if you go through that, and why you should do that. And the third thing is how much to charge for each tier and the factors to consider for each one. Okay, so simple enough. Now, let's answer the question 1. So how do you price your products and services? What is the pricing strategy? Now, this field, a lot of people will tell you different things, right? You'll hear like, oh, you should have a do-it-yourself, done for you, done with you, done for you. And so you have your low, your mid, and high ticket packages there, and that's how you should structure it. But, when I was trying to structure my deals, man, I was like, this is a little bit complicated. How can we get a little bit more specific? And so actually one of my friends who's a consultant kind of broke down this tier system for me, and it helps simplify so many things, right? So what I want you to do, if you have a piece of paper, right, on one side, I want you to write low ticket, I want you to write mid ticket, and then I want you to write high ticket, okay? And typically what we're gonna do under low ticket, we're gonna write tools. Under mid ticket, we're gonna write processes, and high ticket is gonna be people, right? And so these go from low to high. So let's cover kind of the pros and cons about them and what each of these things are. So let's cover tools first. Tools, very simple. These are, I call them tools, but it could be technology, resources. They're typically lower ticket, and they're a do-it-yourself option as well, right? They typically don't have they don't have any support really. I mean, all you gotta do is just give the asset and bam, there's a transaction, right? And they actually make great tripwires. If you're unfamiliar with what a tripwire is, it's basically a low ticket product that will get your audience, that will start qualifying your real buyers as well. They're really great for something really quick. So sometimes you'll see people try to sell their book or a template that they use, right? Or a script. So these are very fast consumable type of items as well. For kick-ass investing, one of the things that I'm doing right now for my info products is that I have a personal finance bootcamp. It's a very low ticket, high value as well, but it's easily consumable. It's like a 7-day course or something like that. It's just something easy like that. And when I do launch my high ticket sales academy as well, I'm going to be having templates, like for example, perhaps my sales script or my sales tracker or certain things as well. This is what I would consider low ticket as well. Now, what are some of the pros and cons for it? Well, the pros is that it's scalable, since you don't really need to provide any in-person support other than delivery. It's pretty self-explanatory, and people understand that when you're buying low ticket items. Think about it. When you're buying a street taco, are you expecting like 5-star service? Hell no. It's very different, right? And so as I'm going through each of these, keep in mind the level of touch with this, right? Is it high touch, low touch, right? The customizability of it, and the level of impact, right? The level of impact that you're going to read a book can be quite profound, but chances are it's not going to be super life-changing. So that's kind of like the pros. The cons, well, you get no support, but that's what you pay for as well. All right, so that's tools. So I like to think of tools as DIY, low ticket, makes great tripwires. That's what you need to know. All right, so let's cover the second thing. Let's cover process, right? And so typically process is going to be something like mid-ticket. And it can be a bit of do it yourself or done with you type of thing as well. Typically you'll see a lot of courses being sold. So certain methodologies, these are a lot more complex than just regular tools, because it takes you from a step-to-step process. Typically these are very minimal support, so you're not gonna, or no support actually, right? That's very common, but that's what you pay for as well. It's kind of like the middle ground for everything. And these are really great for info products as well. So for my products, right, for Kick-Ass Investing Academy, this is what qualifies for it. I give my process of how to show young professionals how to automate their investment accounts and build portfolios like 401ks, Roth IRAs, taxable accounts, etc., right? So that's like the process. For my sales, it's going to be my entire sales process from start to beginning. Highly valuable, but think about it. It's do it yourself. You don't get that high level of support, and that's some of the cons. But the pros is it's also very scalable. It's a little bit higher ticket, and it provides a more in-depth solution for those that want it. And as you can see, it's a bit higher touch. It's a little bit more custom to that audience as well. So that's process, right? And then, so again, process is DIY, still DIY, might have a little bit done with you type of thing, maybe a stream here and there, some minimal support. There's mid-ticket, and then there's and it's also scalable as well. Now, the next one is people. And this is where we start getting into the high ticket world. Now, people are always asked, like, what is high ticket? And there's no real set guidelines for high ticket, but keep in mind when, let's take a car dealership, for example, luxury items. They're going to be very high attention to detail, very customizable. Like a custom suit typically is going to cost more than an off a rack suit type of thing, right? And they're also going to be high impact as well, especially in the info space, right? So people, and why is that? Because here's the thing, you can't scale people. Coaching programs and agencies are kind of hard to scale. Yes, you can scale to a point, but you can't scale across the world and whatnot. It's a lot harder because people is just hard. Think about if you were a coach, how many clients could you really take on and serve them at a high touch? You know, it's extremely hard to do that. So that's why it's important to, so people typically are going to be high touch, they're going to be high ticket, and they're either done with you or done for you type of solution. So for example, if I was a digital marketing agency, maybe I'll provide some customized consultation sessions or advisory sessions as well. But if you want me to build out your funnel or build out something, that's a more done for you type of service. So it's going to require a higher level of support, right? And so that's something you got to think about, level of support as well. That's the word I was trying to look for. So yes, those are some examples, and some of the pros. Well, you don't have to have as many transactions to get the same revenue as some of the other items. But what are some of the cons? Well, it's hard to scale because of the X factor, people. It's really hard to scale with people as well. Not impossible, but for those who are in agencies, we all know people is pretty hard. You know, there's a high turnover rate for agencies and a lot of people get burnt out with it as well. All right. So at this point, like I said, we have our low, mid, high ticket. We have people on the high end. We have process in the middle, and we have tools as the lowest offer. And these are all relative to each other, right? As well, right? So there's that. And again, on the low end, we have do-it-yourself. In the middle end, we have do-it-yourself / done with you type of services. And then we have done for you, done with you type of services on the high end as well. So that's how you pretty much can determine your services, or that's how I usually do it. And when I'm breaking down services, this is how I compare everything as well. Okay. Now, quick pause. Now you know what to build. How are you going to build it? Well, I actually build all my digital assets on this one platform. It's called Kartra. Make sure to go refugeehustle.com/Kartra. I'll leave the link below. But basically, you get to support your boy, and plus, it's a great platform to build all your assets as well. It has all the tools that you need all in one system, right? In one ecosystem. You can do your email campaigns in there. You can do all your tagging. You can put out any programs or anything like that. You don't need to, and it's really quick. There's a lot of quick plug and play type of templates, not like those ugly ClickFunnels ones as well. But the only reason why I'm recommending Kartra is because I use it myself. So if you guys want to use Kartra, make sure you use it. It's the #1 platform I personally use over other services like Kajabi and other things like that. So make sure to check out Kartra in the link below as well, and if you decide to pick up a copy, make sure to support your boy. So there's that. All right, so let's talk about the second thing. So now that we have the tiered products and services, you're probably wondering, well, why should I even tier out my products and services to begin with? And there's a few good reasons, right? And I'll speak from personal experience, right? Especially when I'm doing high ticket sales for a lot of clients, it just leaves for a better position, right? It's not everybody, there's no foolproof marketing campaign that is gonna exactly target what the exact avatar that you have. So typically I like to use our products to position, especially if they're on the lower end point of the scale. I always mention, hey, we have higher ticket products, right? but it just didn't seem like a good fit for you. So based off your needs, this is what we recommend based off your financial positioning. It helps custom fit a better solution to someone's goals and all that, and also shows that you're making the effort not to bankrupt them, not to scam them, because that's a huge thing. We gotta maintain brand integrity. Some people just think so short term, but we gotta think both short and long term as well. So I hope that makes sense. That's the first reason why you should tier out your products. But second thing is, hey, you know what? You're able to expand the reach of your market at all stages of the customer journey. So like I said, you might have, let's say if you're a digital marketing agency or something like that, you might have some people who are just dipping their toes into digital marketing. They're not ready for a done for you type of solution, and they just want to kind of test out the relationship. They want to build the relationship over time. They're not ready for a done for you type of solution. No worries. So why don't we build off the relationship using a done do-it-yourself type of solution, a very low-cost option. You can see what it's like. Try it out. It mitigates their risk and builds that long-term trust as well. So, and the one key thing is all your products, all your services have to have kick-ass fulfillment, because guess what? Fulfillment holds the glue to everything. If your fulfillment sucks, doesn't matter how good your sales is, doesn't matter how good your marketing is. I've seen 8-figure companies go because they forgot about fulfillment. They focused on revenue, and if you can provide solutions at all ends of the spectrum, it makes for a better customer's experience as well. And plus they can ascend in your digital offers. Now, there's one more thing as well in terms of tiering out your offers, is because remember what I said about people. So for your done with you or done for you type of solutions, people is the hardest thing to scale. So you can't take on, maybe you can handle 10 clients max, right? But there's no way that you can handle 1,000 clients by yourself. So it's really hard. And like I said, one thing that you don't want to happen is for fulfillment to shit the bed, right? So we want to make sure that we have the quality to sustain that. And that's why it's important to go through an interviewing process for something like a high ticket program to make sure that we're customizing a really good fit, making sure that we kind of set the expectations of the working relationship. It's kind of like everyday relationships, right? These days people go into these Tinder hookups and stuff, and they're just like, man, I want to what are we? Are we a long-term relationship? Are we a short-term thing? Is this going to lead to anything? Same thing in business. People will just want to know the expectations of the relationship as well. And so by going through an interviewing process, it just aligns people together and just lends for a better customer experience, right? Imagine if you could just buy it and you're just buying a cookie cutter type of thing. You can't have cookie cutter and customized and high. You can't have all three, so you have to choose one or the other, right? So that's my opinion. Like I said, you should tier out your products, especially your high tier products. You should qualify them, and then you should also, and it also leaves a great if you're a business owner and you have a lot of people at the bottom tiers, like processes, tools, like buying your lower ticket items, you can also invite them to work with you on a more one-on-one basis as well, right? And it leads for a much better experience, and plus they know you, and you basically already have acquired that customer. So it's really great, and it actually will lower your cost per lead and all that, but we're getting ahead of that. We're not talking about that. We're talking pricing strategy today, right? Okay, so let's go into number 3. So you're probably wondering, how much should I charge for each tier? Now, the truth is this is going to depend industry to industry, right? What might work in the info space in the digital marketing world versus a lawyer services, which is going to keep you out of jail, right, are going to be very independent, right, or very different, right? And so keep in mind, when we're using this framework of people, processes, and tools, they're all going to be relative to each other. They might not apply to your industry, but essentially you want to do it yourself, like maybe it's a guide, right, done with you, right, and done for you type of solution as well. So there's all that. But when you're charging for each tier, here are some of the factors to consider, right? Like I said, one, we got to consider the level of impact, right? So if it's going to make leaps and bounds in your business, if we can help get you from 6 figures to 8 figures as well, which I've done for a lot of my clients actually, it's going to have a high level of impact in your business, right? Also, second thing to consider is customizability, right? Like how custom is this solution? How tailored is this? Remember, I was giving the custom suit analogy. How tailored is this, right? And third thing is level of support, right? This is where I was talking about high touch, low touch, right? The more support that you're gonna have, probably the higher ticket price, because guess what? It requires human capital. You need to have that people aspect, which is not very scalable. All right. So that's what to consider. Typically in the info space, what you're going to see for most courses and gurus and stuff, for tools like the Tripwire I was talking about, you're going to see products anywhere from $1 to $97, right? Sometimes you can see it up to $200, always exceptions, but that is typically the rule of thumb. It's funny. Most people, and by the way, most people will end in a 7 or 9, just because when you look at that $500, right, or $100, there's something weird about that number. But when you see a 97 or 99, it just makes it so much more appealing, right? A lot cleaner for some reason. I don't know why, but it really does make a huge difference, believe it or not. So there's that, right? So we talked about the do-it-yourself tools, anywhere from $1 to $97, typically can go a little bit above as well. You'll see a lot of SaaS type of solutions at this price as well, right? The second thing is process. So these are your mid-ticket items. They go anywhere from $297 to $997. Sometimes you'll see it even at the 2000 mark. Typically they have a little bit more support at the 2000 mark, but not always. It really depends on the level of impact and how niche the market is as well. So there's that. So like I said, it really depends what you're trying to do. For me, it's my Kick-Ass Investing Academy right here. At the current moment, I did an early bird special of $297, and now I raised my prices to $497, which I probably will stay, but as time goes on, I might have to increase it due to increased pricing or increased cost of operation, things like that as well. So there's that. And like I said, for my tools, that's where I had my boot camp, which I'm going to charge $47 or $97. Haven't quite decided quite yet for that. And then you have the people aspect. So this is the this is where things get really tricky, because this is where you're starting to see 2,000. One of my friends charges 10,000, 30,000 for like a multi-month engagement sometimes as well, right? And it depends the level of support. Keep in mind, every industry will be different, but just know the more support you have, the more expensive it will be. The more impact, the more expensive it will be as well. So just keep that in mind as you're going through everything as well. Okay. So that's pretty much my pricing, how you should price your products as well. And typically, one more thing, typically with any people type of products or services, you'll typically want a high touch communication with that. So that really, really helps too. And yeah, high communication, just because you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, that you determine the working relationship, all that jazz. All right, so let me ask you, do you have a high ticket product, or do you have products and services that are digital? How are you pricing them? Do you use the same framework, different framework? Let me know. And more importantly, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to subscribe to my email list, where I'm going to send you cool tools, processes, and resources to help you transition into a digital remote lifestyle. It's really my goal to help take people out of the traditional 9-to-5 and retire into their digital remote rich life, honestly. So there's that. So make sure to join my email list at refugeehustle.com/join. And also, if you're checking this out, I'm actually working on a nice goodie for you. I'm going to be creating a 10-step checklist to help you go from a disorganized, non-existent sales process to an optimized sales machine. So make sure to check the description when it's done, and check that out as well. Well, that's pretty much it. Any topics that you want me to cover, comment below. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.